Good evening, everyone. So today we'll take some question to solve the height and distance questions. To solve the questions of height and distance. Okay. So here we need to understand how to solve the questions of height and distance. Okay. So here I have taken one question where two men are on opposite sides of tower. The measure of angle of elevation of the tower is given as this and this. If the height of tower is 50, then what will be the distance between the two mains, right? So here it's 30 degree and 45 degree respectively, right? That means if the tower is standing like this, let's say this is the tower, okay? Just mark it as A and B, right? And one person, there are two persons, two men. One man is standing on the one side of tower. So let's say here into the left, it's like this here, okay? And one man is standing on this side of the tower, like here, right? So these two men are standing over here and here, right? Now we need to find the distance between the two mains, right? So let's say this is the distance, right? Mark it as C, and another man is standing at D. So we need to find the distance between the two mains, that is distance between C and D, right? Now here we have assumed the tower as AB. So we can do one thing. Let the height of tower, height of tower AB. You know that the tower is AB, right? So what is the height of that tower? Let us assume it as X. So this is the height of tower X. So this is X. So AB is of length X, we have assumed it, right? Now we need to find the distance between CD. We need to calculate the distance between CD as what? CD is the distance between the two mains standing on the opposite sides of the tower. One is into the left and another is into the right? Now, if we need to calculate the distance between CD, we need to see the other part of the question. Here we can see they measure the angle of elevation of the top of tower as 30 degree and 45 degree. If this is the first man, then the angle of elevation will be forming when he is looking upward, right? Like this. So let's say this as 30 degree. So 30 degree is the angle of elevation. Similarly, when another person is looking on the tower top, he will be having the angle of elevation as 45 degree, right? So let's say this one. I'm drawing it like this. Fine. So the angle of elevation of the another person, another man to the tower is 45 degree, right? See the question, it's mentioned very clearly, right? Now we need to find the distance between CD. Fine. So we know we use the trigonometrical ratios to find out the height of the tower, right? Which we have to calculate, that is X. Fine. Now just take this triangle ABC. We know that AB is a tower which is standing on the ground, right? So this will be perpendicular. So this can be said as 90 degree. And if CD is a straight line, this angle ABD is also 90 degree, right? And the trigonometrical ratios will be applicable on a right angle triangle only, right? So just take triangle ABC. So we can say that in triangle ABC, right, ABC. What we have seen? We can see that the 30 degree and the ratio of AB and CB, what is that? You know it? The trigonometrical ratio which gives the relation between AB and BC, that is perpendicular and base, that is what? Sine, cos or tan. What's it? This is tan. So we can see we will use tan. So tan of what? This angle 30 degree. So tan of 30 degree will be equal to AB by BC. So just put up the value over here. Just mention the name first, AB and BC. So tan 30 degree is AB by BC. That means height of the tower X by BC. That is, so I can see some message. SRV twin FF. Hi sir. Hello. Hello student. Hi, good evening. How are you? So let us solve this question first. So putting up the value over here, we see tan of 30 degree is equal to AB by BC. What is the length of AB? We have assumed it as x. So put the value of x over here. Just write x, which is a variable which need to be calculated. That is the height of the tower need to be calculated. Fine. So x by BC, and BC, height of the tower need not to be calculated. Actually it's given as 50. You can see here this data is known to us, 50. So just put up the value of 50 for x. So x is 50, right? So here we can see putting the value of 50 in place of x and BC as a variable. We see BC can be written as 50 by tan 30. What we did, we bring this tan 30 from LHS to the denominator of RHS. So we get BC as 50 by tan 30. Right? What is the value of tan 30? We know it. The value of tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So it will be coming as tan 50 divided by 1 by root 3, which is equal to 50 times root 3. Right? So this is the value of BC. That means this is 50 root 3. I mean to say this distance, this one, B to C. Now take another triangle, ABD. This is another right angle triangle. So in triangle ABD, what we see? Find the capacity in liters. There is a question. Do you learn me 9th standard question? Find the capacity liters in a conical of a conical vessel. Height and slant height is given. Yes, student, this is a question of mensuration, right? You need to calculate the capacity of the cone. That means capacity of that cone is the volume. You need to calculate the volume of the cone, that is 1 by 3 pi r square h, right? Perfect. So you are having the slanting height and you are having the height also. So consider slanting height as hypotenuse and height as perpendicular. In this way you will be able to calculate the radius, right? Just apply the Pythagoras, you will get the value of radius. And as you are asking, the radius, in this way the radius will be calculated, right? And you know that the volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Just put up the value and you will get the answer, right? Let me know into the comment box if still any issue. So now let us solve this question. Hope I am able to resolve your query. Perfectly fine. Thank you. So in triangle ABD, we are now considering this triangle, the second triangle. What's that? In triangle ABD, this is also a right angle triangle. We will bring out the relation between AB and BD. And we know that x equal to 50 as given into this question here. So, in triangle ABD, we will write how tan, we will use the trigonometrical ratio of tangent. So, sorry, not 30, this will be tan 45 degree. Here you can see tan 45 degree will be equal to AB by BD, right? And we know that the value of tan 45 is 1. Value of tan 45 is 1. Just put up the value over here into the LHS and into the RHS AB. AB is 50 by BD. So here we can see the value of BD as, just take it into the LHS, we get it as 50 meter. 50 meter, right? So we can see this as 50 meter. So the distance between the two mains is equal to CD. Thank you, SRV. Thanks for watching, and thank you. Yes. So in this way, we will be able to calculate the distance between CD. What's that? The distance between CD is the distance between the two boys. So we can see distance between two boys or two men's, not boys, here it's given into the question as men, is equal to CD. And CD is equal to BC plus BD, right? BC plus BD. So from the first triangle here, we have calculated the value of BC, that is 50 root 3, right? So put up the value of 50 root 3 over here, and in place of BD, put up the value of 50. So just add up to give the, which will give you the distance between the two mains, that is distance between C and D. So we are now able to find out the distance between CD. Just put up the value of BC as 50 root 3, put up over here, plus BD. BD is 50. So 50 plus 50 root 3. This is the distance between the two mains, right? You know the value of root 3, it's 1.732, and bring, if you are taking 50 as common, and 1 plus 1.732 will be coming as 2.732 into 50. So just solve it, 50 into 1 plus 1.732, and just multiply it to get the answer, right? So we can say the distance between the two mains as 50 plus 50 root 3, right? I hope you are able to solve all such questions of height and distance in trigonometry if you apply the proper use of the trigonometrical ratio. You need to understand where to apply sine, where to apply cosine, where to apply tangent, cot, sec, cosec, whatever. Okay, and you should know the relation between all these. And in a right angle triangle only we apply the trigonometrical ratio. This concept you should be aware of, right? So just I am quickly reviving the question which we have solved today. This is the question which we have taken. Two men are on opposite sides of tower. They measure the angle of elevation of the top of tower as 30 degree and 45 degree respectively, right? Now if height of the tower is equal to 50, calculate the distance between two mains. So these are the two mains standing at C and D, right? So these are the two positions of men. What we did, we did we have taken the first right angle triangle, that is triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC we use we use the trigonometrical ratio of tan 30. We know the value of tan 30, you know. Exactly, tan 30 is AB by BC. So just put up the value of AB over here, that is 50, that is x, and BC as the distance which need to be calculated. So here we get BC as 50 by tan 30, that is coming as 50 root 3. Similarly, take another triangle. This is the triangle number 2. Here in triangle ABD, we have taken this triangle. Tan 45 degree is equal to AB by BD, right? So AB is the same tower of length x equal to 50. Here we have considered it, right? So put value of x as 50 or AB as 50 to get the value of BD as 50 root 3 as 50. So now just add up these values 50 root 3 and 50 to get the height of tower as 50 plus 50 root 3, which is the distance between C and D. Here you can see CD. So in this question or in such questions of height and distance, we need to understand how to break up the given figure, right? So here we have seen that we applied the tangentials on both the triangles with an angle of elevation of 30 degree and 45 degree, and we are able to calculate the distance between the two mains standing at C and D, right? So we will take up another questions also of height and distance when a cloud is having on an elevation of such some degrees and having a depression of some degree regarding the bottom of that mountain. So in this way we will be able to solve such questions very easily. Okay. Hope you all are aware to get how to solve such questions. If any query, just put up into the chat box. I will always available to give you the required support. Hi SRV, I think your question is resolved. The slanting height of cone you have given, height is given. We have calculated the radius, and that's in this way we used to find the volume of the cone, which will be the capacity of that cone. Okay. So SRV, I think this question is solved, right? By Pythagoras, use slanting height and height. Use it to get the value of radius. In this way, you will be able to get the value of r, and 1 by 3 pi r square h is the 1 by 3 pi r square h is the volume of a cone. Just apply it. I hope SRV this question is solved. Thank you. Okay. So students, so I think we can take up another question. Okay. So let us solve some different question. So I am taking one different question now. So let us solve it. What is the question? Let us say an observer 1.5 meter tall. There is an observer. An observer is 1.5 meter tall. 1.5 meter tall. That means let us say this is the observer. Okay. And the height of this observer is 1.5 meter. Right. So I'm writing the question over here first. An observer of 1.5 meter is 30 meter away from chimney, is 30 meter away from a chimney. So let us say this is a distance of 30 meter and this is a chimney. So just consider it as vertical at 90 degree. This is chimney and height of this chimney as is not known to us. We need to find the height of this chimney. So let us assume it as x, right? An observer 1.5 meter tall, an observer 1.5 meter tall is 30 meter away from a chimney, right? And the angle of elevation of the top of chimney from his eye is 60 degree. So here it's given, it's 60 degree, 60 degree. And we need to calculate the height of the chimney. It's very basic question of trigonometry, height and distance, right? We can very easily calculate this height of chimney by using the application of trigonometrical ratio which carries this and this. What's that? This is perpendicular, this is base, and this relation is carried over by tangent. So apply tan. Tan of what? Tan of 60 degree is equal to, let's say, ABC is equal to AB by BC, right? One of this length is variable to us, that is AB, which is the height of chimney. Put it over x. Put the value of x over here. That is a variable which we have assumed. And BC as 30. And we know the value of tan 60. Tan 60 is what? Tan 60 is root over of 3. We know it. We know that tan 60 is root over of 3. So we can see the value of x. X will be equal to 30 root 3. 30 root 3. 30 root 3 is the height of 30 root 3 meter is the height of chimney, and we know the value of root 3 as 1.732. So put up the value of root 3 as 1.732 and multiply it by 30. So this meter, whatever you will be getting, that meter is the height of chimney. So we can say that this is the chimney height, right? So here we have solved the question where it's given that an observer 1.5 meter tall is 30 meter away. This is the observer 1.5 meter tall is 30 meter away from a chimney, and the angle of elevation of the top of the chimney is 60 degree. So 60 degree is given as the angle of elevation from this point, okay? But if this observer is looking from his eye, it can be like this. The angle of elevation can go like this, right? And this will be coming as here, whatever the question is given. So from here the relation will change. So let us solve that question separately. That will be a different question to us. So let us solve it. So first let me write the question. Okay. Take another question. A kite is flying. Take another question. A kite is flying. A kite is flying. What? A kite is flying at a height of 70 miles, at a height of 75 meters. At 75 meter, right? Now, what is the question? 75 meter from the level of ground, right? Attached to a string inclined at 60 degree to the horizontal with a string making 60 degree to horizontal, right? Now find the length of the string assuming that there is no slack in it. So let us assume the kite as this, okay? So this kite is, we can assume it as a point. So kite is flying at 75 meter from ground. So the height of kite from ground will be 75 meter, like this. Let us assume this point as A and this as B, right? Now this is attached with a string and without any slacks. This is making an angle of 60 degree. So let us see, this is 60 degree and this is the ground, right? So if this is 60 degree and this is making a, this a kite is on a height of 75 meter, then what we need to find the length of the string, right? Find the length of the string. So this is, so what is this? The length of the string is, let us say, AC. So string length is equal to AC, right? And the relation between this and this will come from which trigonometrical ratio? That will come from sine, right? Because AB is perpendicular and AC is the hypotenuse. So just write it simple, that sine of 60 degree is equal to AB by AC. We need to find the length of the string, and this is the string which is making a 60 degree of angle with ground for this, which is tied at another with a kite, right? And we know the value of sine 60. What's that? It's root 3 by 2, right? Put up the value. AB 75 and AC is the only variable over here. So AC can be written as 75 into 2 by root 3, or we can say it's 150 by root 3. So just rationalize it, multiply it root 3 in up and down, so that it will be coming as 150 root 3 by 3. After that, just deduct it 350 times. So 50 root 3 meter is coming, which is the length of string, 50 root 3 meter, right? So in this way we have solved this question. This is a very simple question. So today we have solved two questions, one this one and another one is this. A man on two men are on opposite sides of tower. Okay, two men are on opposite sides of a tower and they measure the angle of elevation of the top of tower as 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. If height of the tower is 50 meter, then distance between the mains to calculate, right? We have taken this question over here, where here AB is the tower, C and D are the position of two mains, and the angle of elevation is given as 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. We have taken two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle ABD, and then we put up the value of, in triangle ABC we have taken 30 degree being an angle of elevation over here, you can see. So tan 30 degree will be coming as AB by BC. AB is known to us, that is 50. Put up the value of x equal to 50 into the numerator. Into the denominator it's BC. BC is the distance of the first man from the base of that particular tower, right? And BD is the distance of the second man from the base of that particular tower, right? So take another triangle ABD. In triangle ABD, we have considered tan 45 degree equal to AB by BD. Just put up the value of AB as 50, which is shown, and in this way we are getting the value of BD, because we know that tan 45 is 1. So putting up the value, we get the value of BD as AB, that is equal to 50. So the value of BD is 50 and BC is calculated as 50 root 3. So add both of these to get the height of, to get the distance between the two mains, which is CD, that is 50 plus 50 root 3, right? So thank you so much for watching. Keep on learning and just keep on commenting. I will try to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning. Bye bye.